Well, all right. Welcome back to Hotels Chronicles, where we go on this journey called Life Together. And yes, y'all, we're back with a new video on how to get your Georgia concealed carry license. And we will not only discuss about the process, but also we'll discuss the pros and cons of having it. So let's first talk about the pros. What's going on? Why should I get it when the law does not require me to have it here in the state of Georgia? This is so true. But the difference is that you get some perks with it. For example, it speeds up the gun purchasing process. So you can go in and it's a lot faster for you to get it because the background check is already done. You got your proof, they can scan it and keep it moving, right? The other thing about it is that if you're traveling across state lines at all, you're going to visit family or you got business, you're a trucker, whatever it is you're doing across state lines, this license will also give you some reciprocity in certain states. Now, you got to make sure you check the laws of your state and all of that to deal with the reciprocity so you can see. Now, here you can see there's a bunch of them right here that are listed, like for the Georgia license. You can get Alabama, Alaska, Arkansas, Arizona, Colorado, Florida, Idaho, Indiana, but a bunch of others. I'm not going to read each and every last one of them. But one thing that you don't see on here is New York. So that's one. So you want to be careful, want to make sure that you are definitely looking and seeing what the state says that is allows you to carry in that particular state with your license. Okay, that's one thing. The next thing, that it provides some peace of mind when you are carrying your everyday weapon with you. So you want to make sure that, if anybody asks or any officer step to you, not just anybody, but an officer asks you, you can go ahead and show this as well as your driver's license and you should be okay. So we want to make sure we're straight on that. I want to make sure we're clear on that. But again, check your local laws in your state so you can make sure that you're straight. Now, what are some of the cons? Like, as if there are any. One, you don't really have to have it in certain states. So therefore, you may say, why? Well, guess what? One of the things that makes it a negative is that it costs $70 to $80 to apply here in the state of Georgia. I don't know what it costs in your state, but definitely check, okay? Also, the process takes time. It could take some weeks to months, right? Depending on the backlog and depending on the process. Either you're renewing or you're actually applying as a new applicant. So those are the things. But enough about the pros and cons, and let's talk about how to get it done. Okay, the first thing is that it's pretty straightforward, right? One, you got to be eligible. That's one. And again, check the local laws. You got to be 21 years old, no felony convictions, no substance abuse, no mental health issues at all. Also, no domestic violence. Again, double check your state laws to see if you're even eligible for this. Okay, so make sure of that. All right. Also, you need some required documents. Those documents are valid ID, a driver's license, for example, proof of residence, or a birth certificate. So those things, sometimes if you have one, then you don't need the other ones, and they may give you some category of choices that you can use to say, hey, I got this one, I got that one, so I don't really need this other one. But bottom line is that you want to make sure you have the documentation. A valid ID typically works. In the state of Georgia, that's all I needed. Also, apply at your probate court. There's an application, real short application. You got to apply at your probate court, okay? And that's where you can also go to step 4, fingerprinting and background check. Now, sometimes that can actually happen at the probate court, like I did. Able to go ahead and do it right then, did the fingerprinting like that. But previously, I had to go to an actual police precinct. So you may have to do that. And what's happening with that fingerprinting process, there's also a background check, okay? And that background check, obviously, they're using your fingerprints to check your background check. So that's what it is there for. Now, step 5, you got to pay the fees. You got to pay the fees no matter what, right? Now, this covers the cost of processing. Now, again, new applicant, costs you $70, $80, something like that. Now you can pay different forms, sometimes money order, but credit card is also, debit card or something like that is also, but you got to check your local website. Step 6, wait for approval. Now this is where the con really comes in. It takes weeks, sometimes months, depending on the backlog. And but with the new law in effect where you can carry without having a concealed carry license, that has dropped the number of applicants down significantly. At least that's what I was told. But also, just again, still legally, it's going to take some weeks and may even take some months. Okay. Then you get your license in the mail. Yay! I got my license in the mail, and you can see the back of it here. So you can see it in here, and I'll have to blur out my face and all of that, my personal information. And you get a letter and all of that telling you different things. Okay. Again, I'm going to blur out the information, my personal information on this. But just want to let you know, hey, it is real. It's definitely worth it. Definitely want to do that. Then you get the license. So that's cool. But let's go ahead and talk about renewing. The renewal process is even simpler and less expensive. First off, you need to renew between the 90 days before the expiration of your current license or 30 days after, up until 30 days after your expiration. Mine was some years after, so I had to reapply as a new applicant. But nevertheless, go ahead and check and keep a track of your dates. So that way you don't have to do it the long process. Also, what's great about it is you can actually mail in the application. That's a great thing. So you don't have to go to the actual courthouse and all of that good stuff. Okay. So once you do that, you submit your renewal via mail or in person, and you have to check with your with the probate court to see. Pay the renewal fee, and the renewal fee, guess what, y'all, is $30 to $35, and no need for fingerprints. Yay! Again, less time, less money, convenient. All of those things are awesome and making the renewal process a lot simpler and less expensive. Then you wait again. Now, it may take a little less time than the new applicant, but bottom line is that you get it. You have to wait sometimes in weeks. It may take a few months depending on the backlog. Okay? But again, remember to keep track of the dates and check your local state laws, because that's the bottom line. That's what governs everything. Okay. Now, thank you. If you like what you, thank you for coming and thank you for joining us and checking us out at Hot Tours Chronicles. If you like what you got today, then like, subscribe, and share. Okay. Also, I want you to check out our Hot Tours Chronicles on Instagram and Facebook for more info as we continue to grow. To say, hey, if you're interested in firearms, your protection, etc., hey, let's learn together. Let's go on this journey together. And thank you, and do come again.